Now the Supreme Court has said, let's give this a chance. Let's study the impact if crackers are not used this Diwali. But the ban is only on the sale of crackers. There's no ban on bursting crackers. So how will the Supreme Court order be implemented anyways remains a big question. But I quickly want to cut across to India Today's Ilma Hassan, who joins us with the latest on the story. Ilma, what's the pulse on ground? How are people reacting to this?
Well, Gaurav, as I was telling you earlier, Delhi was split when the ban on the sale of crackers was announced by the Supreme Court. But, we've been speaking to a lot of people from all across Delhi. They are the ones who really had to witness, the pollution, the rising pollution every Diwali season, to the point that last year was Delhi's worst Diwali in the past 10 years, where pollution levels were completely off the charts. So a lot of Delhiites are welcoming it. Some people say they'll miss the fact that they can't burst crackers this year because that's, a tradition that they're used to. But that they're also glad because, a lot of children suffered at the end of the day. A lot of animals suffered at the end of the day as well.
Yes.
It's been really heartening to see a lot of young people, socially conscious, socially aware people, all of them supporting the ban profusely. Many of them telling us that they stopped bursting crackers years ago because of the implications that it was having on the environment. But this is the voices we're getting from Delhi.
But that's the good point. Should there be a ban that's imposed by the Supreme Court, or should this change come from within? Joining me now on the broadcast is Sardar R.P. Singh, the national spokesperson and secretary of the BJP. Vimlendu Jha is a noted environmentalist, and Sriraj Nair is the spokesperson of the Vishwa Hindu Parishad. Vimlendu Jha, I want to begin with you, sir. Even today, there are reports of stubble being burnt in Haryana. The Supreme Court banned it in 2015. So when that ban cannot be enforced, a ban from 2015 cannot be enforced, how will this ban work?
Absolutely. So, one is, of course, one has to welcome this move. Supreme Court was very, very desperate to really do something about Delhi's declining air quality, and this is just, the Diwali is just a small little step. There are many other reasons why Delhi's air quality is actually gone bad to worse in many ways. Of course, the power of this order lies in its execution. At the end of the day, it's the legislature and the executive that is responsible for our air quality. Supreme Court should not have intervened at all if we had a responsible and a responsive legislature and executive in that sense.
No, why did the Supreme Court intervene only at the 11th hour is the question I want to come to you with. But Sardar RP is saying, why are some making it a Hindu versus others issue? Why bring in Muharram? Why talk about Christmas? There was an environment emergency last year. Schools had to be shut down. Delhi was choking. And it's not as if just, Christians or Muslims were choking. Every Delhiite was choking.
Gaurav, let's not segment into religion and everything. Let me just give you a complete picture. One is the pollution part, which affects each one of us. Second is the religious part, where it's a celebration, it's a religious celebration. Third is the trading part, the business part. Now, the Supreme Court order take care of the one part. They're trying to experiment on one part, which probably they will be able to do it or not. We are not very sure. How it will be implemented on ground, we are not very sure, which is the pollution part. Although I am for that anything of this sort should be welcome, keeping with the future generation of humankind. Of human beings. But second part, which is the religious aspiration, that has to be taken care. And third, the trading part. Why do it just a week before? But they could have done it 3 months back, 6 months back, so that people who import it or people who buy all this crackers, they should have done it. And also, how it will be implemented. Tomorrow, someone will buy this from some other place, outside NCR,
yes,
and bring it, bust it here, and then Supreme Court has forgot. There is today e-business which is happening, and a lot of e-business is happening, and where the sale is being shown from here or some other place, but the delivery is being done from here and from Delhi itself.
Vimlendu Jha, respond to this. Isn't the Supreme Court order spot on, sir?
Delivery will be done here.
Spot on, sir. Isn't the Supreme Court order either quixotic or perhaps judicial overreach? So you've passed an order. It's on paper, you may be very happy about it, but zero impact on ground for the simple reason it cannot be implemented. There is no ban on bursting crackers. And two, you can buy crackers online and burst it.
Gaurav, the thing is that it is not the responsibility of the Supreme Court to execute the order. It passes an order. If our political class has failed us over decades in actually ensuring good air quality, we can't put the blame on the Supreme Court. At least Supreme Court is trying. It's a small window in that sense. So we can't really say that why now and why not 2 months ago, why not 5 months ago. Please
no, why not around a year? Why just now? If it's bad, it's bad. You're an environmentalist. Then it should be banned through the year. Why just ahead of Diwali?
No, if you read the judgment, it clearly says that they're actually going to evaluate the order on November 1st once again. And there was a ban throughout, by the way, that was lifted in September, and that is now extended once again in November till November 1st. And they are going to evaluate the situation once again. Please understand that it's a public health emergency situation. It's not a normal situation. We should celebrate, but we should not celebrate when millions and millions of people are actually dying.
Sriraj Nair, respond to what Vimlendu Jha says. This is a major environment issue. It's a major issue where everyone is choking in Delhi after Diwali. So why not stop crackers? Where is the issue, sir? Where is the problem with the Supreme Court order?
See, first of all, we definitely cannot comment on the judgment of the Honorable Supreme Court, but at the same time, we are very categoric that, there is selective activism going on in this nation. Hindu festivals are repeatedly being targeted. Now, this crackers are burst only for 2 days, but rest of the days, if you see when an election is won, when cricket matches are won, on 31st December, on Shab-e-Barat, crackers are burned, and crackers are burst worldwide. Why only target Hindu festivals when it is for 2 days? Do you think the entire environment is going to collapse? What is happening? Why are these activists not targeting the other religion? See, this is a soft target. If you remove bursting of crackers from Diwali, the entire fun goes off. Definitely, right to breathe is very important, but at the same time, right to celebrate is also there. The government should bring in such a law where the crackers or this manufacturers should use chemicals or ingredients so that it doesn't pollute much.
Mr. Vimlendu Jha, please respond, sir.
The ban should be complete. And now the second part I would like to say is about the loss of employment. When the illegal slaughterhouses were banned, now these activists were shouting about the loss of employment there. Here lakhs of people are employed. Why nobody comes to the rescue of those families who will lose their bread because of this ban? It cannot be selective. We understand pollution. We are Hindu religion is a religion which prays for the trees, the mountains.
Sir, you've made your point. Vimlendu Jha,
we are not against,
please respond, sir. This is selective activism, even of the Supreme Court, says Sriraj Nair of the VHP.
Yeah, so Gaurav, the thing is that, it's so unfortunate that today we are actually casting aspersions on the Supreme Court, their judge, and the petitioner who were actually children. They were not from a political party. They were not compulsive activists. They were people who wanted to breathe in that sense. Now, when we're talking about, as in the gentleman made right points, as in this is something that the government should do. Firecrackers are completely unregulated. We have cases of fire. We have cases of pollution. Nobody knows what goes into these firecrackers in that sense. Absolutely, it should actually be controlled and should be treated in the same way all throughout the year. And by the way, this is something we are talking about only right now. If you read the judgment, and I actually want to request everyone to read the judgment. Judgment says that yes, there is every evidence, and through Central Pollution Control Board and everywhere else, that on the night of Diwali, PM 2.5 level goes almost 14 to 16 times. And therefore, there is a lot of choking and a lot of health, respiratory and other disorders that happen. There's a lot of loss to life that takes place.
But is this a soft target? Is this a soft target? Because the real problem is with stubble burning and nobody seems to be checking that, sir. Even the Supreme Court order, even the court order on stubble burning goes unfollowed.
But that you can't blame the Supreme Court for that, Gaurav. For that, you have to blame the executive and the legislature. The political class and the bureaucracy has failed us, not the Supreme Court. Please understand that, unfortunately, and I'm not really proud about that Supreme Court has to intervene in administrative matters. It is not its role at all. Of course, it's an overreach in that sense. But why? Because our people have failed, and in any civilized society, ideally citizens should actually stop blasting crackers when you have people in asthma, tell me one thing: when someone is having asthma in your family, do you burn plastic in the living room? You don't, right?
RP Singh, respond to that. RP Singh, that's a fair point that's being raised. Please respond, sir.
See, only thing which Supreme Court probably will achieve out of this is that it has created awareness and debate in the system, and which is good. I appreciate that. I don't know how much it will implement it on the ground, because as I told you, there's a lot of e-business happening. But issue is, Supreme Court should look for a composite policy. It's not stubble only. It's the industrial pollution, which is another big polluter in Delhi. Then the construction is another third big polluter in Delhi, and then comes the vehicle pollution. So either give me, Sevendu, please.
Sure.
Please give me minutes. Allow me to complete. I never uttered a word when you were saying. So issue is, let there be a composite policy, and Supreme Court, let Supreme Court intervene into it and indulge into it, ensure that there's a composite policy for future generations, and it happens as a complete thing. And even it requires, it's not only air, it's water also need to be taken care. If Bakri Eid spreads pollution in the water, that also need to be taken care. So lot of issues need to be taken care. Let Supreme Court order a panel which should draw out a complete composite policy, and then do whatever they want to do. I'm for anything which can create pollution and which can create harm for our children. This ban surely will generate that debate, has generated a debate and has generated awareness.
It's raised some disturbing questions also that are being raised. I have to take a quick break here, but the questions that are now being raised is this selective activism, as some allege, is it only targeting one religion? Is the Supreme Court order banning the sale of firecrackers in Delhi and NCR well-intentioned but unimplementable? That's the question we're asking. Sriraj Singh of the Vishwa Hindu Parishad with me on this broadcast. And Sriraj Nair, why are you bringing in issues of Muharram or Christmas trees on Christmas when it comes to a Supreme Court order that talks about environment, sir?
Well, Gaurav, I clearly stated that we are not again, we have no right to comment on the Honorable Court's order. I have never said that. But at the same time, I'm saying, Mr. Jha is here. Has he ever raked up the issue of celebrating eco-friendly Eid, like symbolic sacrifice? Nobody does that. The animal waste going in the water, which is in the northern part of the country, has how much environmental hazards it has created. Why only target Diwali eco-friendly, to celebrate eco-friendly Holi or Dahi Handi, or voice control on Ganesh Utsav? It is only targeting one community, which is a peace-loving community. Hindu religion for centuries have been always environment friendly. We have praised the nature, the mother nature. Whatever the creator has created, the Hindu community pray. So it is the selective activism.
Vimlendu Jha, how do you respond to allegations and complaints of selective activism?
Cricket matches, when elections, why only target the Diwali?
Okay.
So first thing, that I did not put a ban on firecrackers. Right? It was the Supreme Court that did, and therefore you can call Supreme Court a Hindu, anti-Hindu activist. Now, by the way, Chhattisgarh and Maharashtra.
No, you are activist, my dear friend. Did you rake up this issue?
I'll come to that point. So now Maharashtra and Chhattisgarh on its own, without Supreme Court intervention, has in a very, very responsible and responsive, as a responsible and responsive administration, has taken that step. BJP government. Are they being anti-Hindu?
Sir, you're being selective. You're not responding on the question that Sriraj Nair is raising, sir. Specifically on the issue. We don't need a preamble to the Constitution, sir. Just the specific question that he's raising, sir.
Okay, yes, I'm coming to that. That I don't look at an issue of an environment through the lens of religion and faith at all. Anything that pollutes, and if it is Eid or a Christmas or any festival or any industry, I will take up a stand. I will speak up on that if you ask my opinion for that, right? So I'm not saying that only Hindu festivals are bad, or I'm a Hindu, okay? And therefore it's really bizarre to really get into
No, but how many environmentalists have actually gone and said, Bakrid, there should be no animal slaughter?
There are many.
How many have gone to court and sought a ban on Bakrid, the animal slaughter?
There are many activists. That's what I'm saying. Read up and see that how many animal rights activists have been fighting against the slaughter, against the way the festivals are celebrated. A lot of Muslim festivals are celebrated. There are lots of activists who are actually spoken about azan and everything else, the sound pollution, the noise pollution, everything else. I don't think, people who really are talking about the welfare of this world, of our country, of our children and the elderly who are suffering. Ask a child and they will tell you. Ask an aging, ailing old man what he feels or she feels after the day of Diwali, and then let's have this discussion. I can understand.
No, I can completely understand your point when it comes to environment. It's the selective activism that some people like Sri Raj Nair are questioning, and RP is saying the issue that is being raised. The issue that's being raised is good of environment for everyone. So why are some complaining about selective activism, RP Singh?
See, I'm again saying, has Nivendu ever raised the issue of water pollution with Bakri? No, I have gone through his complete profile. He has never raised this issue. But yes, he has raised issue on the environment as patakas and the crackers goes. But keep that point aside.
Sir,
I said I am for anything which can create pollution for our future generation. We should take care of it. Nivendu, please. I gave you a chance. I never heard a word. So issue is, it's very clear that I am for anything which can create hazard for our children. It should be banned. It should not be allowed. But there has to be a process, and then Supreme Court should have done it 6 months back, so that it doesn't hurt the traders. One. Secondly, it should have given a chance for pollution-free crackers. There are pollution-free crackers, and probably that could have worked. And I'm saying, where the Supreme Court has not worked out is that it should look for a composite policy. And composite policy can also look for pollution-free cracker, which creates noise and creates the firework, but it doesn't create pollution. So there are options. But then someone has to look into the composite thing.
No, but why
not
even have
you
noise?
pick up one and then you try to push it through.
Yes, Dr. Harshvardhan, RP saying, Dr. Harshvardhan says, why should there be noise on Diwali?
Gaurav,
Animals are scared, birds are scared.
And yeah.
Gaurav, when I say noise, there are noise which are under the controlled decibel levels. I'm not saying noise which will like big bangs. There are crackers which create noise also to a certain decibel levels which are as per the law. But what I'm saying is this all can be regulated and this can be done, but there has to be not one. You just come up and then put your boot down and say no, nothing doing. A week before you, nothing doing. I appreciate that it will create awareness. I'm again saying it will create awareness.
Yes.
And also that it will also bring some level of pollution level low, but it's not going to help in long term, because today I know it for sure there are people who are converted to e-business immediately. How can Supreme Court stop that? And if ban has to come, then ban has to come on other issues also. So what I'm saying is, let Supreme Court form a committee, look for a composite policy, including all other things which create pollution, including stubble, including industry, including construction business, including vehicle pollution, and then bring a complete composite policy, not only for Delhi, for all other metro cities where there's so much flux of population and things are out of control.
Okay, Vimlendu, you concede this, you agree with this, that this is perhaps piecemeal, this is perhaps ill-considered, and this is just a short-term, maybe headline hunting.
Yeah, no, I don't think Supreme Court does headline hunting. Let's not really destroy an institution which is so respected. Please understand that Supreme Court is actually working on a composite plan. And that's why I wanted to have an informed discussion right now. For almost 3-4 years, Supreme Court has been hearing several petitions, and there's several committees that is there. I don't know if you all remember that, trucks were banned, diesel trucks were banned in Delhi, right? Was that a Hindu truck or a Muslim truck? No. Was there a loss to livelihood? Yes. But it was a different kind. We needed to do that. There was an NGT order around stubble burning in Haryana, Punjab, or anywhere in and around NCR. It wasn't about a Hindu farm. We need to understand that policy making around firecrackers or air quality is the responsibility of the state. State in the sense, central government, and also the local governments, the state governments in that sense. And those governments, Mr. RP Singh right now, please tell me, sir, your government, BJP is in power. What have you done in last 6 months to really create a policy? Why should Supreme Court make a policy? Is Supreme Court a policy-making organization, for heaven's sake? It is not. And when you say that, do I raise a voice on Bakrid or in other things, as in this is really thing? Have you heard Do you record everything that I say? I say a lot of things and I say about everything, right? Anything that pollutes, and I'm telling you on record right now, anything that pollutes, be it Hindu, Muslim, I don't look at religion.
I'm sorry, Narendra. No, please.
Okay, I also want to bring in
I never
Sriraj
said.
on
I
another
said, do
point.
you speak on water pollution? I never said. I said.
Okay, Sriraj, the Supreme Court is saying, and I want you to have the last word.
I need to rebut on this because.
Okay, quickly, RP Singh, 30 seconds. Yes, sir.
Please,
See, issue is not Bakri Eid only. I said we need a composite policy, and when activists speak on only one particular issue, then it leads to connotation that probably some community is being targeted. Sir, probably community is being targeted. And also, let me tell you clearly, it's a local state government issue, which local state government need to actively participate and bring out whatever policy they have to need to bring out. I don't see in last 3 years even a single tree has been planted in Delhi, whereas lakhs of tree could have been planted. That could have been another way out. But nothing has been doing on this. That's what I'm saying.
I want to, for the closing comments, go to Sriraj.
On state governments to bring out a composite policy, especially for metros.
Okay, Sriraj, the Supreme Court has said air quality after Diwali deteriorates alarmingly. City chokes due to the adverse impact of bursting crackers. Effort is only to check air and noise pollution. So why not go with it? It's just an experiment. It's just till this Diwali. Crackers will start once again on the 1st of November. Why not give it a shot? Why criticize it?
Well, Gaurav, as Vimalendu said, I am also a father of two small kids rather, who burst crackers. But definitely we all are concerned with the environment. But we are only against all the dharam gurus, all the religious leaders should be brought on one platform. And whatever creates pollution, whether it is water pollution, noise pollution, air pollution, it has to be effectively implemented on all the religions. This is selectively target. Diwali is the biggest festival of the Hindu religion. And it's bursting of crackers for a day or maximum 2 has got its own significance. Now on 31st December, everybody bursts crackers. When elections from the Panchayat to the Lok Sabha, crackers are burst. When cricket matches are won, football matches are won, on marriages, on birthday parties, crackers are burst. Why only target Diwali? That is our concern. And as I said, all the like Vimalendu didn't answer my question. Did he say that he is for a symbolic sacrifice during Eid? He is not saying that. It is the problem. The problem is selective activism. We are we are definitely for Mother Nature, protection of environment. We are not against that. But this is selective, and we are against this.
Okay. Okay, so there should be no selective activism. I leave it at that. Let there be a comprehensive policy that's brought out and something that can be implemented and should be implemented for a better environment. To all my guests, many thanks for joining me. I now want to shift focus, take you to Pune, where torrential rains for the past 4 days have created a huge problem in many parts of Maharashtra. Take a look at these images on your television screen. Floods due to incessant rains have caused heavy losses in Pune district. Water flowing on roads virtually look like rivers. Vehicles have been swept away, like the images that you see on your television screen. Locals say the administration, 1, failed to alert them, and 2, take effective measures. I want to bring in India Today's Pankaj Khelkar for more on this. Pankaj, locals unhappy with the administration, but if it rains like this, what is it that the locals were expecting of the administration?
See, locals were expecting that the administration, specifically the district administration, should have done their bit. They should have informed them that such a activity, rain activity, is going to happen. The Met department has also alerted that this rain activity is because of the 2 systems that have formed. One is in Bay of Bengal and the other is over Maharashtra. So this particular rain that is happening in outskirts of Pune, that is on the Nasik highway in Manchar, Khed, Ambegaon Taluka, and that has caused these huge rivers that have almost flooded, and the roads have also flooded. So the locals are in a way unhappy that the administration is not doing their bit. At the same time, the Met department has alerted for the next 24 hours such of activity in some pockets of Maharashtra as well as outskirts, like in nearby Pune district also it might happen. some parts of Pune city are also receiving such kind of heavy rain activity.
Okay, keep tracking that story. I will come back to you for more. For the moment, Pankaj Khelkar, many thanks. Killer potholes. They've claimed another life in Bengaluru. Yesterday, a 21-year-old woman lost her life. She tried to negotiate a pothole. She was on a two-wheeler and she rammed into a lorry negotiating this pothole. The lorry driver ran away after the accident. The girl has been identified as Veena. This is the second pothole death in Bengaluru in 2 days and the fourth in a week. This latest incident occurred despite Chief Minister Siddaramaiah instructing officials to fix potholes in the city. The state Lokayukt too took notice of this issue after a 47-year-old woman lost her life in this. The Lokayukt P. Vishwanath Shetty has directed civic authorities to fill up all potholes in the city in 15 days. India Today's Nolan Pinto now joins me for more. Nolan, one life lost day before yesterday, one life lost yesterday, 4 lives in a week. Is the government working on a war footing, or does this action remain only on paper?
Well, it looks like, Gaurav, the action remains only on paper. Let me just show you. I'm actually standing in one of the interior roads. This is very close to a main road. And in my background, you can actually see this is the state of affairs over here, Gaurav. These are the roads that the citizens of Bengaluru are forced to drive on, are forced to negotiate. It's not easy at all. It's extremely difficult. Now, there's a car that's actually coming over here. I'm actually going to show you how difficult it is for them to actually negotiate this particular road. It's not easy. Now, the question is, who's paying the taxes? We are paying the taxes. If something happens to our cars, if something happens to our limbs, it's us who are suffering. Now, this is the 4th death that has been reported in the past 10 days. In this particular case, it took place on the outskirts of Bengaluru at Devanahalli. She was trying to negotiate a pothole. She was a pillion rider. This is information they're getting in the morning. She fell to the left. Her sister fell to the right. The lorry that was coming went over her. Her sister managed to escape with minor injuries. Now, you can't blame the lorry driver also. They're also going slowly.
Yes.
They're also trying to negotiate potholes. And it is the bike riders for the ones who are actually facing this trouble. And the government has stated that, yes, they are doing the work. Of course, it is raining, but then it rains all over the world, Gaurav.
Yes.
Roads don't spoil. Why is it only in Bengaluru that the roads spoil? The simple answer is the quality of the road. If money is paid as bribes from the contractors in order to get the contract from the ministers, what money do they have left? So with the money that they have left, that is what they tar the roads. And
Yes.
hence the quality of the roads and potholes.